one Land Rover tyre, and my little friend. He's a mid-sized one. There's one that's only a few inches long, and I had him practically eating out of my hand yesterday. The tiny one. Oh, the tiny one's coming. Oh, here it comes. Hang on. I can see some sort of activity. Shame they're not red squirrels. The little one's lovely. I'm not sure where the little one is or how long it's going to be. I saw something emerging. There. Ah, there's the little one. This one's a really brave little thing. Doesn't mind me in the least. Oh, little Robin. I did take some footage with my night cam of the nesting bird, but it was only one shot and it was indistinct. I thought it might have taken more, but it didn't. So we can get a bit closer to this young there fella. I get little field mice coming along here too. Hello. You don't care about me at all, do you? He ain't bothered. Do squirrels have fleas? And we're scratching. Hello. He doesn't care about me at all, do you? I'm right up close and personal, aren't I? Little baby. Little baby. Little baby. Let's go up to the Land Rover. You can see what I bought today. Amazing, really. I ordered them at tea time yesterday and they were here today. Look at these. Ramps. Looking forward to using those. Good evening, friends. You find me at the end of not a particularly busy day. It actually feels like a Sunday. It's been raining principally all day and overcast. So today felt just like a Sunday. Very little going on, all very restful. And I hadn't appreciated that yesterday was a bank holiday. Well, that just shows you, doesn't it? You don't realise what's going on when you're cut off from the world. The result was I did have some deliveries today. You will have seen in the back of the Land Rover my car ramps. I just thought it might make things a little bit easier when doing some of my servicing. They're really heavy duty and they weren't vastly expensive. And I ordered them at tea time yesterday, and they came today. Can't say fairer than that. I've also ordered 12 cans of lighter fuel. Worked out cheaper. I'm sure I'll get through it. You're always filling these blessed things up. I've got a nice little lighter coming this week, which I'll show you when it arrives. Not terribly expensive. I bought it really because I thought I might be able to utilise parts of it for an old Dunhill I have. It looks exactly the same, but it's not a Dunhill. But there's a spring or something that I need. I might... Anyway, I'll show you that at another point. Smoking the Peterson tonight. We smokes well. I've got my Perfection in the bowl. Samuel Gower. And drinking a drop of tawny port. I can't go mad. I've got the hospital tomorrow. Bloody hate the places. I'm not looking forward to it. I've got low-level anxiety today. And I don't know why. Because in the past, I had a problem with my eye where they were always trying to inject it. My eyeball with this huge injection, which I always turned down. Then miraculously, I went back, having been a number of times. And they said, you don't have to come back again. It was almost like a miracle, because the damage that I'd incurred as a result of high blood pressure, undiagnosed high blood pressure, this was ages ago, when I was mountaineering. And I noticed my eyesight would go a bit bonkers halfway up a mountain. And I just put it down to, I don't know, being tired or something. But it wasn't. It was the physical exertion combined with very high blood pressure. And something popped in my eye or something, or clotted. The doctor actually said, you know, you could have had a heart attack. You're lucky it went to your eye. Anyway, so I used to keep going back. They said, well, it's irreversible. We can inject your eyeballs and try and dissipate some of the blood clot. I said, is it absolutely necessary? He said, well, you can come back in a couple of weeks and we'll see if it's got any worse. And it hadn't. And then I went back after a month and it hadn't. And then I went back after 6 months and it had gone altogether. I gave praise to God for that one. I don't know if it was a miracle. I'm accepting it as a miracle insofar as it was wholly unexpected. But by and large, I don't like going to them. But if you think about it, an X-ray is not as bad as having a needle shoved in your eyeball. The male nurse who was sort of prepping me for it said, it's okay, you just feel a pop. I think, thank you very much. Do you like my little squirrel? I've got them in 3 sizes. It must be the adults, the old, and the older teenagers and the young babies. Well, sort of 3 generations. I mean, they literally come right up to me now, practically feeding out of my hand. But I'm concerned they might have fleas. They're always scratching. And I do get the odd bite, but I've always thought it was a mosquito. But, I mean, fleas could be jumping onto me from the veranda. Do you remember at school people used to call people flea bag, didn't they? Flea bag. Because my name is T, they used to call me tea bag. And I never liked it. They either called me tea bag at school, or they called me Tetley. I remember playing football, they say, pass the ball, Tetley. I used to hate it. I rather like it now. Oh, this is quite relaxing, friends. Oh, lovely. So they're living in the back of the Land Rover for now. Those I didn't want them to get rusty with all the rain. Those ramps. I've yet to try and get a vehicle up them. I've got enough boulders around here. I might get a couple of boulders and prop them up behind the ramps. See how I get on. I don't know. Certainly make an oil change easier, and possibly changing that oil filter. Oh, and Graham, if you're watching, thanks for posting all those Land Rover parts. I'll let you know when they arrive. And Graham has received his hedgehog. You remember I had that little sort of giveaway. And the poor soul had to pay extra postage. It was £1.50 diffy on the postage, which he had to pay. I presume because it didn't go... I posted it as an envelope. And it went through, and well, it didn't go through. So then probably said, nah, this is a parcel. I sent a letter to Richard. I hope he got it. No idea. I've not tested the system here. I just dropped it into the pickup spot at my dustbin for onward transmission. Going to do a haul this week, a German tobacco haul. See how we get on. And I think I'm only going to order my Rattray's Exotic Passion. Got through that rather quick. I'm just going to buy loads of that and maybe some Comoys. I used to like Comoy's English mixture, and then my supplier ran out of it. They've now got it, but of course you pay a fortune for it, like any tobacco in this country. But you know, things I thought I liked, sometimes I revisit and I thought, what the hell did I like about this? Anyway, that's the tobacco front. My night camera's out there. I don't know what the bird was. I only got one decent, well, it wasn't even a decent shot, otherwise I would have put it on the footage. So I need to set my cam up again. I think because it was raining, they just hunkered down. I've no idea what it is. When I get better footage, I will show you. Oh, and that seed came today, but I'm slightly disgruntled because, as you saw, I sort of went out and sowed my wild oats. But my seed seemed very impoverished. And most of it, there was some sort of dust blowing everywhere. And when you look in the actual carton, it's principally just a load of dust and a few seeds. Now, this is a 2.8 kilogram carton of supposedly grass seed and wildflower seed. I don't think it is. I think there's hardly a half a kilogram of seed in there. I think they've just put a load of earth and nonsense in there. Now, they'll probably say, well, that's to help it germinate. But how's it going to help it germinate when it just blows away on the wind? Gardeners, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because otherwise I'm sending it back. I might send it back anyway. Might be perfectly normal for it to just, you know, not get much seed and just get loads of dust in your carton. They'll probably say it's to help it germinate, but it can't help it germinate when it just blows off. Or maybe you're not supposed to sow it. You see, I had visions of myself being a biblical sower, you know, going out and just sowing my seed. Maybe with all that dust, you're supposed to just plop it down. And so that dust helps it germinate. I might be doing it all wrong. I'm out of cheese, which is not a crisis. I thought I'd order some. Tesco came yesterday, top of the track. No cheese. I could have forgotten it. I will have to check my order when I go in. I was able today to do some phone calling. The people have asked me about boreholes and what have you for water. I do have a well, access to a proper well, not just my little pond. But that could be something of a rigmarole. You're probably better with water under pressure. And they're going to do some sort of topological survey of exactly this area. And there are other people with boreholes. And that will give you a price tier. Presumably, they'll give them an idea where the water table is. How far they have to burrow down. With that big contraption. They'll never get that big contraption down here. But they might be able to close the road off at the top and put the borehole further, you know, on the bank there. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's moving ahead, which is good, because once the builders get here and they're wanting to make cement and stuff and do other stuff and lime rendering and whatever, they'll no doubt need water on site. And it'll be a good thing to have anyway. your own water. I won't be paying Yorkshire Water all that money that I used to when I lived up there. So, yeah, an expensive investment, but you know, it just improves the overall value of the property and the land by having it. You're not throwing it away. It is an investment. You know, you're securing your investment in the area and the land, and seeing something for your money, as it were. So I did that today. And what was the other thing? There was another thing. Oh, yes. You know, we talked about planning, didn't we, yesterday? There's been a sort of change of plan, really. I'm going to work within the existing footprint of the property. Roof lines, everything else. And just renovate the place. And then worry about other things later. So no planning will be required. And so the phone call today, or the email today, was principally to ascertain whether I was in an area of outstanding beauty. And oddly, I'm not. I'm on the border of it. The other side of the cottage, or the other side of my property, I should say, where the track is, everything above there, the long min, all an area of outstanding natural beauty. This side of the track, not an area of outstanding natural beauty. And it's not grade 2 listed or grade 1 listed. So it basically means you just get on with things. I was wondering whether it would be easier, because sometimes it's easier to get permission for an outbuilding to make a chapel, a stone chapel, on the land somewhere, not part of the house. It'd be quite nice to go to it, wouldn't it? Nice little path, going to a beautiful old stone chapel. So things have slightly changed, really, in my head at least, but they change all the time, don't they, when you're doing a project? But what it does mean, of course, is that I can just crack on now, get builders round. First thing, as I said on previous videos, is to get the underpinning done. Get the borehole in, get the underpinning done. And once that's all in place, they can just crack on. I need to get mullioned windows in here with leaded lights. Well, the whole house. That'll be beautiful and lovely. Rebuild the part of the house that was fallen down. But then that was jerry built, that end bit anyway. So we'll make that a much sturdier construction. And it'll be marvellous, really. And get on with the inside. The heating, underfloor heating. The flagstones. But it'll all unravel, unfurl as it's meant to. But I have not a great lot to report. No sermons for you today. I didn't really think about very much today, really. I suppose that's a good thing sometimes, not to think too much, because our brains get so busy, don't they? It's quite nice to be quiet and not be overly preoccupied with things. And that's all I've done, really. What have you all been up to? Had lots of nice emails again. I really need to get on and get that book published, don't I? Although I read to you chapter 8 last night, in the editing although the book is completed, it's about 66 chapters. I'm only up to about chapter 15 or 16 in the edit. It doesn't take too long, just 2 or 3 hours per chapter for an edit. For me, anyway. Gosh, will it ever get done? You see, it's all about motivation. This is the problem, isn't it? You have to be motivated in life. And there's always something else you'd rather be doing. It is hard work, writing. There's nothing easy. The easy bit is just splurging it all down and giving voice to your imagination. Or as Shakespeare would say, bodying forth. The imagination. Bodying forth. But I really need to show a bit of workmanlike discipline and crack on with that. It needs to be published. I might send, I'll get an agent and send some specimen chapters and a synopsis out and a covering letter and let them do all the bloody editing. They may not want it. I don't know where it fits in these days. It's quite a traditional sort of novel in a way. It is a little bit like Downton Abbey or one of them Sunday night series that we always used to enjoy. I can see it serialised, episode by episode. Be rather nice that, wouldn't it? I need to get Julian Fellows onto it. He could direct it. So I might just punt it out to the BBC as a script as well. But we'll see. You never know, do you, with these things? Where are they going to end up? But motivation is key in everything in life, isn't it? I'm very motivated by the house at the moment. I think that's what's eclipsing my motivation over the novel. And the other odd thing I've noticed since I've been here is I'm not reading as much. When I was at Bernsey and I was trying to deal with all the selling of that house and sorting my life out and packing everything, I was reading an inordinate amount of books, probably just to escape from the pressure of it all. I don't know. Whereas since I've been here, I've been far more practical. I have done a little bit of reading, but nothing like what I used to do. I'm just so active in other ways. And at night, I'm too tired normally to read a physical book. And again, when I was living up in Yorkshire, I would physically read a book in bed. Whereas now, I'm a bit jiggered by bedtime and I tend to listen to an Audible book and then fall asleep. I've been looking for a fireback. You try and find them. They're all over they're like the swan's nest grates. They're everywhere other than where you want one in terms of location. They're all over eBay. They're all over Facebook Marketplace, but none around here. Probably because around here they're still using them. But I'm well, and having an X-ray is not as bad as having an injection in your eyeball. Had a nice message from did she say she was? A cardiac nurse? I might need her services. No, I'm sure I won't. But she said she would keep me in her prayers or thoughts when I go to the hospital. What's the worst that can happen? They just say you've got a buggered hip. Or they could say you've got osteoarthritis, or you've got a torn cartilage or ligament or something. I don't know. And my knee is much better. I mean, I found that I've been able to sleep on this side. Not that side, but this side. That side puts pressure on my hip eventually. But it was the case where I could only lie on my back. But I can more or less go on that hip now. This knee is not hurting so much. So that's good. I think that was sitting too long in the lotus position. Anyway, that's about it for today. My lovely congregation, my flock of misfits and mavericks. I don't know what I'm going to watch. I told you about that thing, Priest. I watched that. That was brilliant. And I've been watching 9 Perfect Strangers on Prime. That's good. That really is good. The one with Nicole Kidman. Oh no, I know what I'm going to watch tonight. It's an Evil in War book that's been made into a film. An old one. I think Dame Judi Dench is in it. A Handful of Dust, it's called, I think. And that's on ITVX. Sounds rude. That's got good ratings, reasonably good ratings. So I shall probably watch that, my friends. Anyway, I'm going to go back down to the caravan now, finish off my port, finish off my pipe, and finish off the day. Father John signing out. God bless you all, and I will see you, God willing, on tomorrow's video. Cheerio.
Must be